Headlights carve a silver tunnel through a desert night. A radio glow, a melody like heat lightning. A traveller pulls off the highway and steps into a palace of light. Cool hands, warm smiles, endless rooms, doors that never quite lead outside. Welcome to the Hotel California. You can check out any time you like, the voice promises. But something in the chords says you can never leave. In the mid-1970s, the Eagles stood at the summit of American rock. Southern California had sold a dream to the world. Blue skies, palm trees, harmony vocals. A soft-focused promise that success would feel like sunlight forever. But behind studio glass and limousine tint, another California took shape. Cocaine-flecked, transactional, a carousel of appetites that spun faster each season. Out of that contradiction came a song built like a mirage, shimmering, inviting, and beneath the surface, terrifying. The architecture began with a home demo, Don Felder's hypnotic progression that stepped forward and sideways at the same time, neither quite major nor minor. Joe Walsh stamped it with dueling guitars that would braid into a curtain call for the decade. Over that Mexican reggae groove, Don Henley and Glenn Frey wrote a story. A man on a dark highway, a sudden invitation, a grand hotel where beauty walks arm in arm with menace. It was a fable, but one with addresses you could find on a Los Angeles map. Listen closely and you hear a guided tour of seduction. The first scent on the breeze, some swear it's cannabis, others say it's desert flowers, sets the tone. Altered perception, softened edges. A woman appears whose mind is twisted by brand names, whose smile comes with car keys attached. There are mirrors on the ceiling, champagne on ice. The trappings of luxury become props on a stage where pleasure and performance are stitched together. The traveller keeps walking in, because why wouldn't he? The rooms are countless, the halls whisper with music, and every step forward looks like the next step up. Then the line falls like a shutter. This could be heaven, or this could be hell. There's the first hairline crack in the vision. Heaven is curated. Hell improvises. The longer you stay, the better the staff becomes at knowing what you crave before you ask. Somewhere a corridor bends toward a party that never ends, and you notice it's the kind of celebration that needs to be louder tomorrow than it was today. More bottles, more bodies, more legend. In a town built on the illusion of endless ascent, the terror isn't falling, it's stalling, discovering that the summit is a loop. Rumours have chased the song like coyotes since it first poured out of car radios. Listeners scanned the album cover, the Beverly Hills Hotel, bathed in dusk, and swore they could see a sinister figure in the shadows of the inner photograph. Conspiracy clung to the lyrics too. Was it a satanic parable? A secret code? In truth, the band invited ambiguity on purpose. The art direction sought that peculiar California twilight, a beauty edged with unease, and the line about steely knives. A wry nod, many believe, to their friends and rivals in Steely Dan who had name-checked the Eagles on their own record. The mythologies were part of the fun. The darkness was something else entirely, because the beast in this hotel isn't horned, it's hungry. The song sketches the economy of want, how desire feeds fame, fame feeds money, money feeds appetite, appetite feeds emptiness, and emptiness demands to be filled again. We're all just prisoners here of our own device, the singer admits, and that sentence has outlived every 1970s headline. It's not a curse cast from above, but a pact signed in a dressing room, a handshake at a label office, a private promise to yourself that you can handle one more. The trap is voluntary until it isn't. And still, the band leaves the door open to redemption, or at least escape, long enough for a desperate sprint. Near the end, the narrator races for the exit, begs the night man to let him go. The answer is both courteous and lethal. The bill is paid, the bags are packed, the lobby smiles. But the hotel isn't a building anymore. It's a condition. You can check out any time you like, but you can never leave. Addiction hears that and nods. So does celebrity. So does any cycle, where the thing that feeds you also drains you, where the applause that gilds your name steals your voice. The cultural backdrop makes the parable sharper. Post-Watergate disillusion, oil shocks and layoffs, a booming entertainment industry promising sparkle while the country learned to live with shadows. Los Angeles was the capital of the American Dream's publicity department, and the Eagles, perfect harmonizers, reluctant prophets, chose to write the press release no one wanted. The band has said for decades that Hotel California is about the dark underbelly of the American dream. Strip away gossip, and you're left with that X-ray, a beautiful skeleton, every bone stamped with a price. Even the song's little riddles point home. The woman whose mind is Tiffany twisted, the pun about a luxury car that makes a sickness of its own name, the hints of blades and beasts, these are postcards from a world that confuses consumption with connection. The guitars don't so much solo as converse, two voices arguing in harmony about whether joy and doom can occupy the same note. By the time the last phrase climbs and dissolves, you can feel the desert again, the night air cooler than it was at the start, the highway wider, lonelier. What makes the whole thing endure isn't scandal, it's recognition. You don't need a suite at the Beverly Hills Hotel to understand the lure of a glamorous trap. We build private hotels California all the time. Jobs that own us, feeds that never end, relationships that circle the same hallway. The lighting is different, the music lower, but the contract reads the same. The door is always open, the exit always moves, so the song keeps playing year after year, not because we solved it, but because it keeps solving us. Every generation hears its own appetite in that chorus. Every listener recognizes a version of themselves in the traveller who wanted a soft bed and found a mirror. That's the dark meaning of Hotel California. Not devils in the rafters, but the streak of danger under every promise of paradise, the knowledge that the dream can turn and ask for blood. Elegance becomes a mask. Comfort becomes a cage. The longest solos are the ones we play to drown out our better judgment. And on some future night, a highway will unspool ahead of you, and the radio will find those opening chords again. You'll see the glow on the horizon and think of palm trees, of laughter, of staying a while. You'll remember the refrain, the invitation that sounds like freedom and feels like gravity. Then you'll ask yourself the only question that matters in a land of endless rooms. Are you checking in or waking up?